Okay, Chapter 7, we're going to talk about the normal probability distribution. To do that, I want to show you some of the notes, how I would demonstrate that before we get to the problems. So a normal probability distribution deals with the normal curve, where we have some sort of line some sort of curve, right? Normal curve starts low, ends low, tapers in the middle. It goes high in the middle. So in the middle, on a normal curve, you will always have your average. They're going to use the symbol mu for your average. If we were to blow this thing up, zoom in, right? Again, normal curve. Mu is your middle, which will always be your average, but how they travel out will be by standard deviations. So what they're going to show in a book, they're going to show you mu plus sigma, right? A mu plus a standard deviation is the traveling, or mu minus a standard deviation. That's how it will travel, and it will keep traveling in standard deviation. So again, if I take away 2 standard deviations, if I take away 2 sigmas, I'll get this next point. If I travel out 2 standard deviations to the right, I'm adding 2 sigmas, so mu plus 2 sigmas, and then so on, because they travel out to 3 standard deviations. So that's what the normal curve looks like. That's what we're going to be talking about. That's what we're going to be discussing, this idea of a normal curve. We're going to be drawing, we're going to be labeling, and we're going to be figuring out things using that. Now, when we get to the calculations, we're going to be using something called the NormalCDF and the NormalPDF. So NormalCDF and a NormalPDF. In the calculator, my old calculator, the things that I have to put in, I have to input these things. I have to do a lower bound number, so the lowest possible. I have to do an upper bound number. I have to do the average, so I have to do a mu, and then I have to do a standard deviation. That is what I would be entering into both of these things. The CDF or the PDF will both use this input every time. And this is calculating the area or the probability under a normal curve. Now the difference between these two things, let's see. Normal CDF, when calculating, we're going to be calculating the probability from everything less than that z-score, that number. So here would be my number. Normal CDF calculates all this area, everything to the left of that area, everything to the left of that element x. Normal PDF, on the other hand, only calculates the area associated with the x, only calculates the probability associated with the x. So PDF only calculates this line right here, just that line, just the area probability associated with just that x. So CDF calculates everything less than, PDF calculates everything exactly. And then the last thing we need to talk about is the empirical rule. Okay. Empirical rule. Let's see, empirical rule. It basically says that if you have some normal curve, draw it out really big, mu plus sigma, and then the other way, mu minus sigma, mu minus 2 sigma, mu minus 3 sigma. given a normal curve using the empirical rule, it says that within 1 standard deviation of the average, it'll hold 68% of the probabilities. So within 1 standard deviation, plus or minus a sigma, it holds 68% of the probability. Within 2 standard deviations, of your average, so plus or minus 2 sigmas, it'll hold 95%. And then finally, within 3 standard deviations, of your probability, it holds 99.7% of all probabilities associated with that element, with that thing. And that's the empirical rule. So based on a normal probability, we know within 1 sigma it holds 68%, within 2 sigmas it holds 95%, and within 3 sigmas it holds 99.7%.